to survive, to be brothers, to walk with one another, to respect. It teaches all that. And one of the hardest things to do is to live by that. 10 Commandments easy to live by, because it is made by the man and ratified, not ratified, but taught and remade so many times to each generation. Our teaching is, in this teaching, we try our best not to allow everybody to be part of this ceremony called Inipi ceremony. Inipi means to purify yourself spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Like everything else, it has its healing powers. It has a lot of healing power depending on who is teaching you. Many people just use it to purify. At the Sundance, they go inside and they go out and go Sundance. But in this ceremony itself has a healing element. There is a difference because there is a connection to everything, to the water, the sustenance of life, of water, the fire, which gives energy, to the earth, our mother. It represents, the fire represents the sun, the air that we breathe. And the Lakota people say, "Wo nyankile nariki ayechil wakantkan kakagelo." This breath of life is made something like the ghost of man because it is forever and it never ends. And we call it the soul of man. And the Christian teachings, you cannot say, where is your soul? What part of your body is your soul? What part of your mind, what part of your spiritual self is the soul? And the Indians say it's the breath, the air that you breathe. For this very moment we are breathing, while in a building like this we are breathing reprocessed air. But outside, if you're not breathing smog or gases, you go to the mountaintops, you are breathing the air that has been here for millions of years. Maybe air that was used by the dinosaur, or the fish, or the plant, or the stones. The stones have life, or the grasses. And you are using this air, and we call it the soul. Niyanki lewa kaelo, this breath is holy. And it's the breath, the one you call God. It's the same one. And it goes right down to one thing that we teach in our teaching. When does life begin? But this has been a question since the beginning of, you might say, Christianity. To the Indian way, life begins when the baby takes the first breath of air, the breath of God. Until then, in this 9-month time, it is the responsibility of the woman who brings life. It is the greatest teaching of someone who brings life, a woman who brings life. Man is a very small part of it, only the seed goes through. But the woman carries this child and gives it life, the sustenance, and the good things it needs to live, not drugs, alcohol, or cigarettes even. but to have good life, the right food, to bring a child into the world. Life begins when the baby comes, takes the first breath of air. Sometimes the doctor or the woman who pulls the baby out, sometimes have to hit it a little bit for the air to come, to take the first breath. Life begins then. So we always question the fact that in this system, say the system teaches life begins when the woman receives the seed. When she receives the seed of man, life begins. You say it in that way. For legal process, I guess, in this system that will be true. Legally. Spiritually, another way. That enables the woman to bring a beautiful child into the world. Many women have abortion, taken seed. But is it right for a woman to take the seed? The Lakota people in the spiritual teaching, we find that there is a baby that is dead already in the womb, or something is wrong. We have an herb that we give, a plant that we give to the woman, so she has a natural abortion. She has a natural abortion. And then we do the ceremony, allowing that fetus to go on to the spirit world. There is sometimes this kind of life when there is no abortion. Sometimes a woman has to carry a dead child. That's the sad part. We talk about this and teach about these things in a good way so that each person can understand that your life that you live is not your own. It belongs to the grandfather. No matter how you look at your life, and no matter what you do, it is not your own. It belongs to the Creator. And He makes you do things that you don't want to do. And you do them anyway, and you wonder why. Long time ago, I don't know when, but I didn't want any part of spiritual teaching. In the very beginning, I didn't want it. But my grandpa made me study the worms. That was hard to study worms because I didn't like them. They're always crawling on me. Or spiders and insects. I had to learn about them. To be part of them. Not only learn them, but be part of them. The worst part of it was eating them. That was the hard part. Even the animals. And that was the hardest part for me. In time of teaching my grandpa and my grandmother. This is the last time. In the spring I will come back for the last time as lame deer. Lame deer is going away. Next year in August I become Chief Quick Bear. The old man chief.